Quint, if we can get close enough, I've got things on board that'll kill him.
Just want to goose him up. Come on. Okay. When he runs, you drop that rope or you'll lose your hands. I seen fingers torn out at the knuckles. Old Siemens Home's full of them. Hey, boy, give it to me a minute. Hard in that line, it'll foul us. Start the engine.
Radio's on. I'm gonna make a phone call.
Hello? Hello? Hello, Mayday Orca. Coast Guard? Coast Guard, this is the Orca. Do you read me? Coast Guard, this is the Orca. Do you...
Excuse me, Chief.
That's great! That's just great! Now where the hell are we, huh? You're certifiable, Quint, you know that? You're certifiable! You're certifiable, but I'll tell you this!
Boys. Oh, boys. I think he's come back for his noon feeding.
JAWGUST.
JAWGUST is back once again. Jaws is 50, so I thought, my friends, for you to come with me as I go back to Amity. A 31-day podcast, talking 4 minutes of Jaws each day. It will be another month-long show for me, and I hope to see you there, 'cause JAWGUST is back again.
Happy Monday, everybody. It's Monday, August 25th, which means it's day 25 of JAWGUST, which means it's day 25 of Golden JAWGUST, which means for the 25th day in a row, I am here podcasting to you about 4 minutes of Jaws. Monday. This is the last time I can say happy Monday, everybody, and welcome to JAWGUST. The last Monday of JAWGUST. By next week at this time, the month will have ended. The fun will have ended. The movie will have ended. And the podcast will have ended. But we still have a week. We still have a week together. And of course, you obviously can go back anytime and relive JAWGUST all over again. You can go all the way back to 2020 and do it for the first time, then come back and relive Golden JAWGUST over and over and over again. And over again, if you'd like. But yes, we still have, you could say, oh, we only have 1 week left, but I like to say we have an entire week of Jaws talk left. So I like to look at it with the like the Herbie Robertson half that's floating, not the half that's in the shark's mouth. You know, I like to be an optimist. I was thinking about things that could have happened if Jaws was a lesser movie. There is a moment, and it's at the begin. It's the clip at the beginning of this where he's like, "Quint." Hooper says, "Quint, I have things on board that'll kill it." Now, I feel like if this was a more modern movie, they would screenwriters would try to put in a character like Hooper, like the shark expert who studies sharks, who loves sharks, where Quint is someone who does not love sharks. He loves killing sharks. You'd think that you'd say, oh, that's good screenwriting to have like the opposition. But, this is a very specific circumstance, and Hooper here knows what needs to be done, and that's why he says, I have things on board that will kill it. But I feel like in a lesser movie, in a more trope-filled script, you'd have Hooper be the guy who is trying to actually preserve the shark. He's going to try to catch the shark, and he's going to try to bring it back to be studied. I feel like they'll be like, they have a real chance to kill the shark, and then Hooper at the last second does something where it doesn't happen. And it's like, we can't destroy it. It's too rare. One of these stupid things that you'd see. And I also, I thought of this. Well, I thought of both of these today. The Hooper being the opposition, and Quint, if, again, a lesser, cornier script, you'd have Quint at one point, shoot at the shark and say, "This is for Herbie," another Herbie Robinson. "This is for Herbie Robinson." Another dumb thing where they give you something in a script only so that later they can call back to it in a dramatic fashion. Yes, sometimes they're like, "Oh, look at that foreshadowing," but sometimes it's done in a ham-fisted way that feels forced and feels corny, and that Herbie Robinson line that doesn't exist, it's just in my head, is what would make a lesser moment in this movie, a lesser script, a lesser special movie, or a less special movie. That's it. That's actually an interesting exercise. Take movies that are great and movies that you might consider perfect, and try to fit in logic that you'd think would be in a movie that would make it not as good. Oh, that makes it corny. That part was stupid. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm just thinking that would be a fun exercise to go through great movies and make them worse. And that's the name of the podcast. You can have it. Make them worse. Well, maybe you can't have it. Maybe that's mine. I don't know. Just a thought. Maybe it already exists. There's a podcast out there that I think is such a perfect exercise in taking something you love and expanding upon it. And I don't know if it's the only one. I don't know if it even still exists, but I've always wanted to do something like it. I think it's a fun thing where it's called Sequel Quest, and they're like, okay, here's a movie. Now you come up with the concept for the sequel. And yes, I know a lot of people say there's too many sequels, there's too many IPs. Well, these things don't exist. This is just fun exercises. Take, I don't know, a random movie. I'm not even going to say a movie because, take a perfect movie like Jaws and make a sequel out of it. Well, I feel like some podcasters could probably do a better job. Actually, I feel like if you get some podcasters, you would end up eventually with Jaws 2. If you just had some ideas about an idea, for a second Jaws movie, you'd end up eventually with Jaws 2, because there shouldn't be a sequel. There is no need. It logically doesn't make sense. But if you're going to make a sequel and it's going to be an Amity, you could say, hey, it's another shark. I mean, that makes sense. Of course there could be another shark. But really, could there be? Oh no, I talked about the sequels again. So this 4 minutes picks up at night again, and we get that final shot of Brody, and it's a great shot because he's well lit, and like he just has this look of terror, like he's in the foreground, and he just has this crazed look of fear in his eyes, and I think it's just a really great shot. And I also love the fact that you have Hooper
Silhouetted in the back. The shark is gone for now, but by morning it will come back. I don't need to tell the captain his job. As long as I can radio to the Coast Guard. But then Quint smashed it, and that's just great. Just as I was saying Mayday, I guess that means that he gets his way. We'll have to stay. No!
I don't know if the moment in question warranted such a song. But it happened. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah, so we get this great shot of Brody looking frightened. We're 1 second into the clip, by the way. And there is, while Brody is lit up front, there is Mr. Hooper right behind him. And I literally wrote down in my notes, there's Hooper silhouetted in the back. And that's what started that whole thing, because I was like, silhouetted in the back. Why do I know that? What is that? It's in my head. I started singing it. I was like, what, silhouetted in the back? So I Googled it real quick. I said, oh my goodness gracious. Seventh grade, I thought Warrant was the greatest band in the world. I know everyone, it talks about how bad hair metal is, and those foolish rubes have their opinions. And everyone who thinks Warrant, your first thought might be Cherry Pie. And while it was probably the biggest hit, I guess, to me, it was Down Boys that started everything. I bought that album. I owned that cassette. And I think years later, I bought it on CD. It was one of the first CDs that I ordered through the internet. I was already married, and I remember buying the CD going, I kind of remember this. And it was one of those tapes that when I was a kid, I listened to it so much that I remember what song comes next. So like after Heaven, it's Riding High. No one knows that, but I listened to this tape, Dirty Rotten, Filthy Stinking Rich, so much. And yes, in Cherry Pie, they say dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking, but they stole that, or they copied that from their previous album. This really wasn't going to be a Warren cast, but hey, I have the record button. I can do whatever I want. So Chris, fast forward through this. Okay, gets up and we're back to Jaws. So we get one more shot of the orca at night. It's a great shot from far away. You see, it seems fairly accurate to what's going on, because if you just look quick, you see the boat. But you can see three men. You can see someone all the way in the back. Now, I don't know if these are the actual actors or if they did this at another time and just lined everyone up, but you got someone looks like sitting in front of the barrels. That would be Mr. Quint. You got someone standing in the back. That would be Chief Brody, and someone up at the helm, Mr. Hooper. I wonder how many people my age thought of this Mr. Hooper as their second Mr. Hooper. And of course, the first Hooper was the grocer. Rest in peace. The grocer who lived on Sesame Street. So we get, and I read about the shooting stars not being real, and they're saying, a lot of these shots were day for night, and you can kind of see it here. Now you could say the moon is lighting up the ocean. It's a beautiful shot, and you can say that's moonlight, but more likely the fact that you can see all the clouds and you can see the light on the ocean, more likely than not, you see that this is, well, you could say it's dawn. You could say it's dawn, because it's definitely not the middle of the night here. They're just waiting for the sun to rise. But you see that shooting star again in the background. And as I read from the effects supervisor, that this was animated in, not an actual shooting star. So as we brace for our final week of JAWGUST, we then are taken to the following morning, or later in the morning. It's definitely the next day, though. And it's the final day for Jaws, the movie, but also the final day for this adventure, I guess you could call it, their quest. This is everything comes to a head on this day. Which, what day is it? So let's say 4th of July, man gets his leg bitten off, and the mayor says, my kids were on that beach too. And then he signs the letter for Brody, or signs the permit or something, I forget what it was, to allow Brody to hire a contractor. He's going to hire Quint to kill the shark. And of course he needs to get that notarized, and there's nothing open on the 4th of July, so he has to wait for at least the following day. Then he goes down. Let's say it's the following day, though. Maybe he goes right to Quint that day. You feel like Quint's probably waiting for him. Like we saw already in progress, and Quint is talking about all the things, the brandy, color TV, all that stuff. But I would like to see the, knock, knock, knock. Hello, Mr. Quint. Oh, hey, Chief. Hey, Chiefy. Hi. I don't know if you heard on the news today. Don't much watch television. I don't know. I really wasn't planning on doing this, but something where he has to go in and say, here, maybe what we saw was him going to him, and Quint just started walking off, and Hooper followed him. No, he needed Hooper. So Brody followed him with Hooper. Okay. He gets the signing. He calls Hooper, and it's still early enough in the day. They go right to Quinn. So all of that is the same day. Everything from that's still the 4th of July. They're not going to wait. And Quinn could care less that it's a holiday. He, of course, he respects the Independence Day, but he doesn't care enough to not, sign a contract. So we don't actually see him sign it, but he does. And then I'm going to say it's the next day. So the 5th is when they head out, which means that this is the 6th. This is just a guess. Today is July 6th. 6th or 7th, I'll give one buffer day, maybe just so Hooper can get all his stuff. But I feel like Hooper already has all his stuff ready to go. So I will say this is probably July 6th. I didn't look up any quote-unquote Jaws timeline. So I'm just going to assume that I am correct. Now, keep in mind, we're only 18 seconds into today's 4 minutes.
Hey, Chief! All left ready!
Put your left hand down.
I can't. It'll only go about 3 inches.
All of our injectors got scored from the salt water in the fuel.
Yeah, the house is bent, you can hear it.
So you got all 3 of them working to try to repair the Orca that got all effed up because of that friggin' shark the previous night. He's, you got Quint and Hooper down below working on stuff because they know things. Brody doesn't know anything about a boat, so he's just up at the helm, at the main controls, the steering wheel, whatever you want to call it. And you have Quint yelling up to Brody, like, more left rudder. And he's like, I can't. It only goes about 3 inches. And Quint says, Hooper says, all of our injectors got scored with the salt water in the fuel. I don't know what an injector is. Maybe a fuel injector, like a fuel injection in a car. I have no idea. But salt water got into the fuel, which screwed up everything. And the housing's bent. You can hear it. Now, the housing, whatever the hell that is, got bent. I'm assuming because of the shock. And he's like, try left, brother. More left. Good. Once again. And so it seems like they're making a little progress. They're fixing it enough. It's still, a little effed up, but they're fixing it. And then all of a sudden, boom, the barrel pops up.
Once again now!
Wait. There it is.
What do you say, Chief?
The barrel is up. It's right in the stern.
So then you get almost up to the clip that opens up this episode. You have Hooper and Quint at the end of the boat, they Quint's like, he thinks he's under the barrel, directly under it, but they're like, let's hook this rope in. And he's like, be careful, because if he starts to run, that rope will burn your hands. It'll rip your fingers right off. It's seen it cut down to the bone. And of course, it doesn't happen to Hooper. It happens to Quint. So first of all, the fact that Hooper is just on the edge of the boat, leaning out with that stick, I'm like, you are a madman. Now, this is me saying this as someone who has seen this shark and what the shark can do for the last, for my entire life. Back here at this moment, they're just thinking there's a shark in the water. What's it going to do in the water? But then they're both like just laying down, leaning over, getting the rope, as Quint was telling them this, and boom, we get probably the best look at the shark right now. At first we see it and pop its head up, right, take up the full shot, and it's just like right in your face. Then we get a wider shot, probably right now the best wide shot of the shark, easily the best wide shot of the shark in the movie so far. This thing pops its head up, and it's got the rope in its mouth, and it kind of, you can see it like this thing sees not, you'd think of sharks as seeing, things floating on the water, or floating in the water, like rafts, legs, people. But like right now, it sees this boat and the people in the boat like as the adversaries. That's why this is also a monster. It's not just a shark. Like, this is a very specific, special monster of a shark. You're not even safe inside your boat. This thing like pops its head up and goes at him, and it's just quick enough that you don't see the fact that the shark doesn't quite close its mouth all the way. It's just the mouth is open, it comes at them, and then it goes really quick down. We get a shot of the rope pulling through Quint's hands, burning his hands, bleeding, and then the shark goes right back under. It is a great quick shot, and you see like the shark going away, another great shot, and you see Brody seeing it, looking at the shark. And then that's when he's like, start the engine. He looks over at Brody to start the engine, and Brody climbs down away from the helm. And both of them look at him like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, I'm going to make a phone call. And he goes in, and I love the look on Quint's face first, that little like, no, you're not. Like, what the hell is he doing? First of all, how badass does Quint look when he's got the bandana? He doesn't have a hat on now, got his bandana tied around his head. I mean, there are so many looks to Quint. This is my favorite. He looks so cool here. And it's weird. I always, younger, I would be like, why is he doing this? Is Quint now the bad guy? Like, how does Brody come back from this, to deal with Quint? But, as Brody is making the call, he's like, Mayday, Mayday, this is the orca. You see Quint grab this bat. Now, he has a few bats on there. I don't think it's for baseball. I don't think it's an homage to Herbie Robinson. I believe this is to club these animals, these fish, to death when you get them aboard. I would imagine. He picks this bat up. Is it a Louisville Slugger? It might just be. And it's very ominous because you don't see him. You just see his hands reach for it. It's like, uh-oh. Like, you almost maybe think for a second that he snapped. And I wonder if they're letting you or trying to make you believe that he's going to hit Brody with it, which would be crazy. That'd be full villain, though. Everyone loves Brody. And as much as they love Quint, there's no way that he would be able to come back from this. And he swings and he comes in, but he smashes the radio, not Brody. And all my life, he smashes the radio. But I wonder if it was supposed to make you think that he's going to go for Brody. But then Brody's like, what did you do? You're certifiable. And I love, he smashes it before Brody even says that. He goes, Chief, and he hands him the bat. Like, here you go. Like, just matter of fact, well, that's just great. That's just great. You're certifiable. And Quint goes, yeah. Like, it is so great. But why did he do this? and it's simple, really, when you think about it. He has one track, and that one track is they're going to kill the shark. They're out here. They know best. They've been working this thing. They have a barrel in it. Well, they don't have a barrel in it now, but he's not going to let anyone ruin his chance. Well, never mind his chance at $10,000. He's not going to let anyone take this glory away from him. I feel like this shark, out of all the teeth, all the jaws that he has hanging up in his workshop, his place with his cabin, that no one, like this one would be this is the creme de la creme, and no one's going to take that away from him, especially not some chief of police who, doesn't even know, the hull from the aft to the udder. I don't know. I'm just listing off boat things. As you could tell, I don't know either. So while the two of them are arguing, or really it's just Quint went nuts, smashed the radio, and Brody is like, that's just great. And Brody is screaming and lost his nerve. Quint walks back out, and Hooper says, "Oh, boys." And I love that shot. I think he's back for his noontime feeding. So I'm guessing it's roughly lunchtime now. So they've been working on the boat all morning, and now you get the shark coming directly at us. It's a great shot, and they're getting another barrel ready. Quint's going to, I love that shot of the shark just going by. That must be one of the rare moments where they got the shot. And I wonder what Robert Shaw's thinking right now. I've got this mechanical thing in the ocean. Like, does he feel silly doing it as an actor? It doesn't show it. It shows that this is the most important moment of this, one of the most important moments of this man's life, or he takes this as serious as he would. In other words, he's such a great actor that it doesn't matter what he's thinking. What he's showing is a man who is bent on getting this very real shark and killing it. So Hooper gets the barrel ready. Quint swings back to the front. I love that it's all like a one quick motion of him coming around. He jumps up. Hooper hands him the harpoon gun. He gets right up there, takes aim, and fires, and hits the shark right in the dorsal fin. And then the barrel goes off, and then we get another great Jaws jaunty adventure theme from John Williams.
Full throttle, get me right up alongside it! I can't rim it up that high, it's not gonna take it!
Boom, and that's where the 4 minutes ends. So you get that, dun, 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 and then you got Quint saying, full throttle now. And Hooper's like, I can't take it. Then you get another little jaunty little adventure theme right as the segment comes to an end. It's like, dun, 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 dun. I mean, there's so many great like orchestral stingers in this movie that they just fill, I don't even know what to say. They fill my heart. I don't know if that's the right thing. They complete the movie. Everyone says, yes, Jaws would not be the same without dun, 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 dun. But that is just one piece of the musical puzzle that makes John Williams a goddamn genius. But that's the end of the 4 minutes. So as it started, the orca was incapacitated, was a little messed up from the night before. They seemed to have fixed a little bit of it as they were getting it to work as the barrel showed up. So they said, okay, we got to go with this. They pull the barrel in, the shark shows up, then they're like, let's go. They get the boat going, start the engine, even though, there's a little radio mishap in between there. but they're able to get one barrel back into the shark, and now they're chasing it, and that's where this segment comes to an end. You think Quint's going to let the Coast Guard come in and either try to help them or take credit, or even worse, just tow them back so they can't complete the mission? No chance. He doesn't care. He's not there to make friends, and he doesn't care what Brody thinks of him. He's there to do a job, and he is not going to stop for anybody. But I am, because I've come to an end. It is now 10:50 p.m., so I need to get this up and out. And then I need to get to bed. What do you think of that? So, my goodness gracious, the last Monday of JAWGUST. It's going to be weird not saying Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to JAWGUST. I'm going to miss it so much. But we at least get to say Happy Tuesday one more time. Tomorrow, I'll be back. I hope you will be too. But until then, you can follow me on all those social media things at Geek Mentality. You know, that's the name of the podcast. The actual name of the actual podcast, where all our specials, like JAWGUST, like Batman, Big Screen Batman, Silver Screen Superman, Sitcom All Ye Faithful, Movie Month, Margie McFly. Who knows? There might be other things. You never know. You never know. But right now, we're just focused on one thing, and that's one last week of JAWGUST. And it continues tomorrow. So yes, you can follow me on all the socials at Geek Mentality except TikTok. Geek Mentality Mike on TikTok. On Facebook, it's Fans Not Experts. On YouTube, it's Fans Not Experts. That's because the website is fansnotexperts.com. So, that's it. I'm done. The beaches are closed. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And here is my theme song.
This is my podcast, I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time, and I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe.
Excuse me, Chief.
Fans Not Experts.